That was his?
Yeah, and people, it got number one at the box office. They're like, the surprise number one hit. I'm like, it's Midway and it's Veterans Weekend. Like,
I don't think that's a surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like whenever, what was it, Captain Marvel, did really good in the box office. Well, yeah, it's a Marvel movie. Yeah. They always are going to do good. More of a shock would be like, I don't know, some indie film.
Franks and Beans.
Yeah. It turns out, like My Cousin Vinny did 300 million in the box office.
Francis Ha.
Yeah. Francis Ha was a huge hit, turned in 100 million. Like, wow, really? That movie?
Opening weekend?
Jesus. I wouldn't expect that from such an independent small film about two women who are dancers.
Or Interview with the Vampire that Tom Cruise didn't even know he was in for 2 years.
Yeah, I love that line. Oh my God.
That's a very producer line.
He's like, Tom Cruise didn't know he was in that vampire movie until 2 years after it came out.
Oh, it's such a good. And you know what my favorite line in this movie? So they know that Eddie Murphy's going back to the suit place. So they do this big action scene where, let's see, Cole goes up to him, the actor, I forget his name, Kincaid, when Slater runs up to him. And Slater's like, I know you got that plutonium. He goes, yeah. He's like, I that's registered with the government. He's like, and it's for religious purposes.
He's like, know that. And he's like, whoa, you have real plutonium?
Yeah, Slater goes, he just breaks character. You have real plutonium? And then Steve Martin goes, he has real plutonium? That's hilarious, man.
It would take you back, wouldn't it? Because you're supposed to be like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And then it's like, oh shit, you actually have it. It's like,
that's such a weird power and speed, man. Power and speed.
Well, something interesting I read was that originally Kit Ramsey was supposed to be Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, they wanted Keanu.
That would have been a more interesting film. Because then Keanu Reeves would have had to have been playing himself as like the dorky version of his brother. Like, how would that have worked out?
He would have been more Bill or Ted. He's Ted Theodore Logan.
Yeah. Isn't he?
Don't kill me, people. He's either Bill or Ted. He's John Wick.
Yeah.
So he would have been
John Wick playing. Yeah.
He probably would have been more of a surfer bro. And like him and Always Be My Maybe, the version of him.
Oh, Always Be My Maybe. Oh man, that's
punched in the face. I punched Keanu. I'm
Maybe
telling
some
you,
bragging rights through.
I think Eddie Murphy's perfect. I'm happy that Keanu turned down this role because Murphy's just he's perfect in this movie.
I think that Keanu Reeves is probably in the middle of the Matrix. That's probably why he didn't do it.
Yeah, 99.
It would have been 99, so they probably filmed this either early 99 or late 98.
He was in Australia shooting Matrix, and that was a long production. So you're right. They couldn't get Keanu.
That's probably the reason why they didn't pick him.
Shakespeare.
Oh man! I love that Roger Ebert, who wrote this, he gave this movie 3.5 out of 4 stars. He wrote, "It's a movie where everything works. Everything about this movie works." He said that, and I tried to look it up to back up what Roger Ebert was saying, but he said that, and also in his review of this movie, he said that in a shell-shocked year of gross and grosser comedies, we got Bowfinger. With merciful relief. And he didn't seem like he was a very big fan of 1999's comedies. And
American Pie.
American Pie he was a fan of. He gave that 3 stars, and he referred to it as this generation's Porky's. Which, if you haven't seen Porky's, I strongly recommend watching it as one of the beginnings of the teenage sex comedies, and then followed by Mischief.
Why should we watch a sex comedy, Chris?
They're fun. I mean, we were all teenage boys at one point, and it goes with it. Yeah. So he liked American Pie. He didn't like Big Daddy or Deuce Bigalow, which would have been the other big 1999's comedies, and he said that they were both not. They were not appealing, and they were very gross. Deuce Bigalow, I could kind of see. I think European Gigolo was probably worse.
Is that the one where the lady had a penis for her nose?
Yeah, she sneezed and then cum came out of it. And it was like, I get it. I get the joke here. Yeah. Ha ha ha. But the interesting is Rob Schneider.
Roy Scheider?
Roy Scheider was in this? What? Fresh off of
Sorcerer.
20 years later. Rob Schneider is actually a very smart man. If you ever listen to interviews with him, he's a very smart man. He doesn't leave much room for gaps either. He has a constant information nonstop, and he's very brilliant. He'll make references to 1500s France. Wow. It's nuts. But
Rob, I get it. I know what you're talking about. Shut up. We were talking about bagels.
Yeah. Did you know that? I tried to find more reviews of Bowfinger when I did a Google search, and I couldn't really find that many. Especially, well, I mean, you're always going to find reviews, but they're usually going to be of ones from much later. But I tried to find some from the 90s. I found one from James Bowman, who gave it 2 stars, and he said the best thing about it was that as long as you don't look into the film too closely or care, you'll like this.
Oh, brother.
He's very critical of the film, but he says that in his defense that you would want to have somebody who's critical of a movie. And I was like, maybe, yes. I mean, he's a little too critical. It's a comedy about making a movie. Yeah. You know, it would be something else if it was more like, American Movie. I would want to hear more critical analysis of that, but I thought, I like what Roger Ebert said, whereas, everything about this movie works.
Yeah.
It really does.
Trying to get me to do alien sex. Oh, wait. What are the 3 things that you have to do? There are no aliens. No giant foot is going to squash me. And even though I feel like I might ignite, I won't. And keep it together. And who can't you show Mr. Weenie to? No Laker girls.
There's apparently like a whole thing shot about that. So they had like a whole thing with him.
He was running and he saw the sign for the Laker girls.
I love that. And you don't get it until later on. You have to watch the movie several times to figure that out.
The Laker girls need to be taken down a step or 2. Oh, there's 1,456 Ks and it becomes 486. It's too cerebral.
Yeah, I mean, overall, people online seem to like this movie a lot. It gets a 6.4 on IMDb, 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, 71 Meta.
Very highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's a good movie all around.
I have a surprise for you. We're doing something right now. It's a new thing on MFF where I surprise people on the podcast.
Oh, no.
We're going to do a quick Jamie Kennedy draft. So we have to pick 5 TV shows or movies that Jamie Kennedy has starred in. I'm going to put it up on MFF Facebook.
Oh, man.
And
I don't think I can name 5.
And we have to, we'll put them up against each other. So,
okay.
Do you want to pull up your phone, get IMDb going while we're looking through this?
Yeah, I'll try to figure something out.
I just did this we just did a Carla Gugino draft, and we've also done an Oliver Platt draft. So I really enjoy doing that. Now, all right, ready? We're going to do, how many fingers are behind my back, Chris?
5.
1 or 2?
2.
2. You get first pick. You're wrong. Chris, all right, you get first pick.
I'm going to say Scream.
All right.
Ooh, I just found one that's actually a really good one that I didn't realize he was a star of.
I'll say Scream 2.
I'll say Boiler Room.
Oh, no!
Yeah, I didn't even realize he was in that.
You just won that. All right, I'll do Romeo and Juliet.
He's in that?
Yeah.
Who's he playing that?
He's one of the little squirrely guys.
He's Samson.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit. I didn't know that. No, he was an extra in that. That doesn't count. Malibu's Most Wanted.
No, that was my pick. Oh, dude.
Can you pick ones where he had supporting roles?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was about to say, we're left with Son of the Mask, and that's it.
I'm doing Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh, shit. Good one.
You won with Boiler Room.
Man, I didn't even know. I forgot he was in that. That is such a good movie. I'd love to do a pod on that. Sorry, I'm blanking here. I'm trying to find movies that I actually know. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
All right, Harold and Kumar.
That's a good one.
He's in Dr. Dolittle, too.
Who was he in that?
He was a voice.
I
wonder if Eddie Murphy liked him.
He was 4 different characters.
Oh, Enemy of the State. Yes.
I found one more.
Enemy of the State, dude.
All right,
who you got?
3 Kings.
Oh, no.
That's it right there. That's the trifecta.
I think you just won this. You picked a really good one.
That's a great movie, too.
He is in that movie.
I forgot about that.
He's been in some awesome movies. He's been in some pretty good movies.
Characters? I always thought it was Ice Cube. Ice Cube, George Clooney, and Mark Wahlberg.
I got the last one here. And, I mean, you already won this, clearly.
Spike Jonze was in 3 Kings.
Yeah, he was one of the main actors.
I did not know that.
Oh, gosh, dude. What? I hate that. You beat me.
Yeah, man, Boiler Room, game, set, and match, sir.
All right, so I have to... Oh, dude, this is tough. All right, let's see. What am I going to pick?
You got Son of the Mask.
Oh, dude, I was an extra in Good Deeds, and he was in that movie.
I was one of the drivers.
Yeah, I remember seeing him on set, actually, for that movie. All right, I'm going to go with, since I've lost big time. Man. All right, I'm either going Tremors 5, or I'm going to go... man, you won this. Tremors 5 isn't as good as it gets.
Was he get it as good as it gets?
I don't know. He has a name.
No, I gotta watch the movie again.
Okay.
It's been a while.
All right. Oh, gosh. All right. I guess I'll just do Tremors 5. You won this easy. So you have Scream, Boiler Room, Malibu's Most Wanted, Harold and Kumar, and Three Kings. Whew. That's a squad.
That's a hell of a day.
And I'm happy with, I have Scream 2, Romeo and Juliet, Jay and Silent Bob, Enemy of the State, and Tremors 5. You won. But I'll put this up on MFF Facebook. And I'll see who wins.
Oh, I like that. We should do that. We should do that again.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to do this every pod.
That's a good idea.
I put my Oliver Platt squad destroyed Jay Cluett's squad. Oh, what's up, Jay? What's up? 86-14. 86% of the vote.
Wow.
We got 14.
Damn.
Now it's time for Chris Kelly recommendations.
Yeah. I just wanted to add before I do some recommendations that if you do want to check out Bowfinger, it's nowhere. As of this recording, I haven't found it anywhere to stream. But you can rent it at Redbox if you have the Redbox app.
You can use my password
for $2.99
for movies anywhere.
And it's also if you live in Atlanta or Georgia, you can go to Videodrome. Check it out over there. That's where I got it to review this movie. $5 gets you a week. And go say hi to my buddies over there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So my recommendations, as I say that these movies, if you consider this podcast to be like a meal, my recommendations is kind of like a wine or a side dish that complements the meal. So they're not directly related or directly associated, but they do complement it. My first recommendation, which I wanted to do a podcast about this one, but I wanted to run it past you because I don't know if you've seen it or not, which was the movie Swimming with Sharks.
Oh yeah, very good movie.
It's a dynamite movie. It came out in 1994. It's about a guy that moves to Hollywood who's trying to he wants to be a producer, so he gets a job as an assistant to Kevin Spacey, who his character's name is Buddy Ackerman. He's supposed to be one of like the big time producers. His character is based on Joel Silver, and Frank Whaley, who you may know as recognize him as Brett from Pulp Fiction. His character is named Guy, and he plays the character that becomes the assistant to Kevin Spacey.
Very good movie.
He's an absolute nightmare to work for. Constantly screaming and throwing things at him. Buddy's doing this to Guy, and he has great lines of dialogue where he's just completely anything he says, anything that Guy says, Buddy immediately has something negative to go with it. Like no matter what he says, like when he says, he's like, I got to go to the bathroom. So he's like, well, hold it. And then he has him. And Buddy decides to pour himself a glass of water. So he takes the pitcher, holds it up really high in the air, and you can hear the water dripping down. And he's testing Guy to see how long he'll wait until, will he pee his pants? That's how he wants to know how dedicated he is. But the movie was shot in 1994 by George Huang. It was his first movie that he had ever made, ever wrote and directed. And supposedly he got he wanted to do this movie after talking with Robert Rodriguez when they were sharing Hollywood stories, because George had worked at I forget the name of the production company, but they bought the rights to El Mariachi, and he had a conversation with Robert Rodriguez, and Robert Rodriguez said, this sounds like a crazy idea for a movie. Why don't you just make that into a movie? Because he's like, George was saying, I've been working for all these horrible people. They're constantly screaming at me, telling me I need to man up. They'll throw things at me. He's like, you should make that into a movie. So he did. He got, I think it was $300,000 and shot this movie.
So I think we should do it. A movie about a movie.
It's a great one. It says that it's a comedy online. That's now streaming on Tubi.
Yeah.
But they say that it's a comedy. I don't personally think this is a comedy. I think it's more of a dark comedy, borderline dark drama. It is not a very funny movie. There's a lot of great lines of dialogue. I think that those of us who've worked in the industry can relate to it, but I don't think it's it's not a comedy for everybody.
Got it.
The next one, which is another one of my another favorite film.
Stop pushing your agenda, Chris.
And I know that Mark loves this one as well, but 1994's Ed Wood.
Oh yeah, so good.
Such a great movie. Good. I'm actually going to be doing a podcast about this movie on the other podcast I guest host on, Movies on Our Minds. But it's 1994. It's directed by Tim Burton, written by Rudolph Gray and Scott Alexander, best known for Problem Child, People versus Larry Flint, big eyes. But he did this